Batting third and pitching, number 16, Jenna Wallace. Hitting cleanup, the DP, number 17, Mackenzie Jewell. Hitting fifth, playing third base, number 12, Riley Webster. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 19, Maddie Gopha. Hitting seventh and catching, number 13, Riley Gray. Hitting eighth, playing right field, number 2, Paige Strickler. Hitting ninth, playing center field, number 6, Michaela Goss. In the flex position and playing first base will be number 21, Kelsey Day. The Patriots are coached by Stacey Bell. And now for your Southern Wesleyan leading off and playing at the hitting second, Lady Fulcher. Batting
Fans, welcome to Varsity Field, home of Southern Wesleyan softball. Beautiful day we have for you here. We'll get the lineups set and the batting order set for you here soon. But first, we'll take a quick timeout for the national anthem.
At this time, we ask that everyone please rise for prayer and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Heavenly Father, thank you.
Fans, welcome back to the varsity field. As we mentioned earlier, home of Southern Wesleyan softball. First out of the game there. Fly ball taken care of by Riley Brown just in left center field. And this is going to bring up Anderson Thrower, the left fielder for Francis Marion. Glad to have you here this afternoon. Beautiful day here in Central South Carolina. There's a line drive going to fall just in front of left fielder Marissa Moreland. So the Patriots have their first base runner of the afternoon. We're in the low 60s. We were mid-80s yesterday, 30s overnight, and in the low 60s right now. So it's been quite the weather over the last 24, 48 hours here in Central South Carolina. But nonetheless, we have a beautiful day for softball, be it a doubleheader, Conference Carolinas matchup. Nice pitch there. Forces it to a 2-1 count. Bear with me for just a minute. We're getting everything still set up here for the broadcast. Pitcher Jenna Walling stands in for the Patriots. Foul ball off behind us there. That one just misses off the plate. And the full count. It's going to be down out of the zone. So now first and second for the Patriots from Florence, South Carolina. Patriots come into today (21-6) overall, 6-2 in the conference, 15-4 at home, and 6-2 on the road. So having a nice season thus far. Pop up on the infield, and Reagan Fulcher picks up the second out of the day for the Warriors. Brings up third baseman Riley Webster. Riley hitting .308. And has started every game thus far for Francis Marion. That one's going to be fouled off. Warriors come in today 15-7 overall, 4-1 in the conference, 6-0 here at the varsity. So anxious to see how the Warriors and the Patriots turn out today. Olivia Haig in the circle for Southern Wesleyan, making her 8th appearance and her 8th start. 5-2 on the season, a 1.83 earned run average. Going into her 35th inning on the season. 10 walks and 22 strikeouts. There's a line drive going to reach in between left center field. Patriots are going to pick up one run, and that's going to be a double, run-scoring double for Riley Webster. Second baseman, number 19, Maddie Golka. That one's in there for a strike. Maddie batting .273 on the season, making her 13th start. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Frances Marion has 15 home runs on the season. The Warriors' counter was 16, so from an offensive standpoint, very similar in nature. Southern Wesleyan as a team hitting .298. That one's popped up on the infield. And shortstop Maddie Crouch battles the sun and ends the top half of the inning for Frances Marion. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get the batting order set for the Warriors as they hit in the bottom half of the first inning, and we'll get the lineup set for the Patriots.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. And it's West Shore FC, where by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. West Shore FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Left fielder Marissa Moreland going to lead off the bottom half of the first inning for Southern Wesleyan. Swing and a miss. Kelsey Day, or rather, sorry about that. Jenna Walling, as previously mentioned, inside the circle for the Patriots. Jenna starting her 17th game on the season, making her 20th appearance, 15-3 with a 1.31 earned run average. Walling has 106 innings in the book so far this season. 22 walks, 106 strikeouts. Averaging a strikeout per inning, and continues that as Marissa Moreland goes down on strikes. Reagan Fulcher steps in. Second baseman hitting .258 for Southern Wesleyan. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. As I mentioned, home run production about the same for both teams. Warriors hitting 298 on the season. Francis Marion hitting 307. But they bring in a 2.03 earned run average, countered by Southern Wesleyan's 2.24. So on paper, it should be a really solid softball game and a doubleheader here today. Catcher Rebecca Lamb waits on deck. That one hits the bottom of the zone. Wind blowing out, pretty much cutting across left to right. So anything down the left field line might get cut down a little bit. Anything kind of right center, right field could push out. There's a swing and a miss. So Fulcher goes down on strikes, brings up catcher Rebecca Lamb. Rebecca hitting 367, making her 17th start. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. Lineup changed a little bit for Southern Wesleyan. Abby Lawson out today. Coach Ardeeser and the squad will miss her 308 average, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. A swing and a miss. So Walling, who is third in earned run average in the conference, ends up getting out of here in the bottom half of the first. And we come back. We'll be in the top half of the second. Francis Marion leads 1-0.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Riley Gray steps into the box. Catcher for Francis Marion going to lead off this top half of the second inning. Gray batting .257. No home runs, 5 RBIs on the season. Right fielder Paige Strickland awaits to hit next. As mentioned earlier, Olivia Haig making her 8th start. 4 complete games on the season, 1 shutout. Her counterpart, Jenna Walling, as we mentioned, 3rd in the conference in earned run average and leads the conference in strikeouts, as she is averaging 1 strikeout per inning. And she did retire the Warriors in order in the bottom half of the first. Francis Marion, former Peach Belt members, came into the conference about 4 or 5 years ago. Along with UNC Pembroke. That one just misses. Warriors were really wanting that one. Pushes it to a 2-2 count here. Ground ball bobbled a little bit, and Fulcher unable to make the play. So Gray owned by an error there to lead off here. Brings up Strickland, the right fielder. Thought Fulcher was going to be able to recover there. She bobbled it out of her glove, but then it kicked just a little too far away. And if you have any speed at all in softball, if it's not fielded cleanly, you have a really good chance of beating the throw. Strickland shows bunt. Bunts it foul, so the right fielder will come back and try it once again. Batting .302, has also started in all 28 games now. Have about 5 Patriots that have been a consistent force in the lineup this season. Ground ball out to Fulcher. Pushes Gray to second, but Strickland is retired. 4-3. Brings up the center fielder, Michaela Goss. Goss batting .221. Takes this one low out of the zone. No home runs, 11 RBIs. Patriots have 19 stolen bases on the season. So they're just pretty much a good solid club all the way around. Good offensively and definitely good from a pitching standpoint. So obviously has helped them get to that 21-6 overall record. That one's going to get away from Lamb and allow Gray to reach third now. So Gall stands in with a chance for an RBI opportunity here in the second with 1 out, 2-1 count. Haig trying to work out of trouble here. A lot of foul balls off the bats of the Patriots. Good crowd here at the varsity and a good crowd up on the hill hosting a track meet today, this afternoon, and tomorrow. So a lot of activity in this vicinity we will have. The Gotta Run invite standard each year here on the campus of Southern Wesleyan. Excited to get up there and see some track events. This one's hit down the left field line and going to fall out of play. Good number of teams will be here this afternoon from about 3 o'clock till 7. And then tomorrow 10 a.m. to around 4:30 or so. So if you are in the area, come on out here to Central South Carolina and check out a quality track meet. That one's fouled off again. So softball here today, track this afternoon, lacrosse here tomorrow at 1. And, of course, finishing up day 2 of the track meet. So good weekend full of athletic events. Baseball's on the road. They're up in Mount Olive, North Carolina. Another foul ball off the bat of Goss. So baseball will be taking on the Trojans of Mount Olive up in the land of pickles. And yet another foul ball. And there's going to be a base on balls. Warriors will hit the road tomorrow. Head down 85 to Franklin Springs, Georgia, take on Emmanuel University. Warriors are 5-4 on the road. And as we mentioned, a perfect 6-0 here at home, 4-3 as they did have some neutral field venue games earlier in the season. And Goss is going to take second on an indifference there. And Madeline White, slap hitter. That one gets away from Lamb and allows Gray to score. So the Patriots now move to a 2-0 lead and allows Goss to reach third base. Check down to the third base umpire. They thought she might have offered, so should put it at a 2-0 count. Haig trying to work out of some trouble here. There's a fly ball, deep center field, but not deep enough in terms of getting out of the park, but it does allow the Patriots to pick up another run as Goss scores on the sacrifice fly. Left fielder Anderson Thrower. Thrower leads the Patriots, batting .416 on the season. No home runs, 9 RBIs. Impressive stat with Francis Marion. As I mentioned, a lot of foul balls. They've only struck out 77 times this year. That is Pretty impressive feat, to be quite honest with you. They strike out about 2.5 times a game. So they are definitely putting the ball in play. Having some quality at bats. Jenna Walling waits on deck, should throw a reach. And right back to Haig, who gets to put the assist there with a 1-3. So the Warriors will regroup, come back in. They trail 3-0. We're entering the bottom half of the second inning.
If things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Our virtues set us apart. We daily work to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. This is Conference Carolina.
First baseman Chloe Smith leading off the bottom half of the second inning for Southern Wesleyan. Chloe hitting .356 on the season, making her 22nd start. Couple home runs, 13 RBIs, and does have 3 stolen bases. Warriors have 26 on the season. That one's up out of the zone. Walling retired the Warriors 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts in the top half of the first. So there's a fly ball, high fly ball down the left field line, and that's going to be a foul ball. View is obstructed just a little bit here in the press box, so I did lose sight momentarily. So Smith will step back in to the box here. That ball's up out of the zone. 2-1 count now. Wind has shifted a little bit, so the way the field sits and the way the flags are kind of blowing here, it's kind of more of a breeze out to center field now. Maybe a little right center. It was really pretty windy around 11:30, 12 o'clock. So Smith picks up the base on balls, and this brings up the pitcher, Olivia Haig. Olivia batting .305, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. She does lead Southern Wesleyan in RBIs, and second on the team in home runs, just behind Abby Lawson, who we did see not dressed today. Some type of injury, so hopefully Abby will be back out here on the field very soon. Caleb Van Steenberg running the production truck this afternoon. Caleb is a veteran production truck manager. Quick meeting in the circle, and Walling is back. And Haig is back in the box. So we'll start back over, 2-0 count. Swing and a miss. Not sure what Walling's velocity is, but she is definitely one of the harder throwing pitchers that we've seen here at the varsity this year. Fly ball, center field. Gonna be up and over. Nice play by the left fielder, Anderson thrower. And center fielder Michaela Goss was anticipating making the catch. They worked that perfectly.
Now batting, number 23, Abby Schreiner.
Your left and right fielders always want to go in front and the center fielder behind. That was a nice play there. Now the designated player, Abby Schreiner, steps in. Abby leading the team with a .361 average, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. So Smith stands at second after a walk. Fly out by Haig, and now Schreiner in to see if she can advance. Smith at first, takes a strike there. Fly ball, center field, and center fielder looks like she was struggling with the sun. Definitely looked like the sun came into play for Goss, the way she was kind of standing off to the side and
Number 9, Maddie Crouch.
just off the end of her glove there. So a big break for the Warriors. Runners at second and third, and brings up shortstop Maddie Crouch. Maddie batting just .185 on the season, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, but brings a wealth of defense at the shortstop position. Takes this one for a strike. So great opportunity for Southern Wesleyan. Tough break for the Patriots. See if the Warriors can cut into that 3-0 lead that Francis Marion currently has. Megan Ware, the third baseman, awaits to hit next. This is now the third base line. Nice recovery there by the third baseman, Riley Webster. And Smith unable to advance. It was hit right there at the bag. Nice arm on the third baseman by Webster. Brings up third baseman, Megan Ware. Megan hitting .250, no home runs, 11 RBIs. And has 4 stolen bases on the season, and she takes that one for a strike. Ware has, as I mentioned, 4 stolen bases, tied for the league with, team lead rather, with center fielder Riley Brown. Grace Eckert, sports information in the press box, along with athletics intern Bryce Metz. Swing and a miss. So the Warriors threatened but unable to pick up any runs there. We'll head to the third inning. Francis Marion still leads 3-0.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Jenna Walling, the pitcher, steps in for the Patriots. No official at bat, 1 plate appearance. A walked earlier and a 1-hopper over to Crouch, up and makes a throw across to retire Walling here in the 3rd inning. Brings up the designated player, Mackenzie Jewell. Jewell 0 for 1. Batting .338. Started and played in all but 1 game this season. And there's a hard hit ground ball foul down the third base line. Jewell is tied with 2 others on the team for the team lead in home runs, tied with Webster and Jenna Walling. Pop up just in front of the Francis Marion dugout. So Jewell is retired, brings up 3rd baseman Riley Webster. Webster batting just over 300 at .308. As we mentioned, tied with 2 others for the team lead in home runs. Webster's a redshirt senior from Yanceyville, North Carolina, also a transfer from conference member Lees-McRae College. That one's bobbled. 3rd baseman, nice play to get the out. So Megan Ware didn't field it cleanly, but came up through a strike across the diamond there and just in time to retire Webster. So we're going to head to the bottom half of the 3rd. Patriots still lead 3-0.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Center fielder Riley Brown set to lead off the bottom half of the third inning for the Warriors. Riley came in today batting just under 300. No home runs, 4 RBIs, but Brown does lead the Warriors in stolen bases along with Megan Ware. They both have 4. That one just misses. That one's in there for a strike. 3-1 count. And Riley Brown's going to reach on a leadoff walk here. Left fielder Marissa Moreland. So the Warriors have gotten a couple of walks here against Walling. So back at the top of the lineup, Moreland, Fulcher, and Lamb struggled versus Walling in the first inning, but their second look here. See if they can make some adjustments. Walling is a graduate student from Johns Island, South Carolina. Fouled off. So much better swings here the second go-around by Moreland. I know that's what Coach Ardeeser is really hoping to see. Walling came out pitching exactly like she has the entire season in the first inning, getting 3 strikeouts early on. And that one's going to be a called strike, but a much better at bat there by Moreland. Result might have been the same, but the path there was much different. So second baseman Reagan Fulcher 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Reagan batting .258 entering today's game with 1 home run, 11 RBIs. That one's in there for a strike. So Walling back to getting ahead here. Catcher Rebecca Lamb waits on deck. Ground ball, second baseman, perfect positioning there. And a force double play. So second baseman Maddie Golka could not have been positioned any more perfectly. Hard hit ground ball by Fulcher. So that's got to give the Warriors some hope. Just a bad break there and a nice play by the second baseman. We'll take a break. We'll return here in 1 minute. Welcome back to Varsity Field. Maddie Golka, second baseman, steps in. Maddie 0 for 1 today. And takes this one for a strike. Maddie's batting .273, making her 13th start on the season. Senior from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Florida Southwestern State College. A transfer for head coach Stacy Valley squad here. Fly ball right field. So first out as Madeline Knopp reels that one in. Riley Gray, the catcher. Batting .257 on the season. Riley reached on an error earlier and later scored. Sophomore catcher from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. Ground ball over to Ware. She'll come up and retire Gray. This brings up right fielder Paige Strickland. Paige 0 for 1. Paige entered just over 300, a 302 clip, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. Strickland, a redshirt senior from South Granville High School, and is retired. So quick top half of the inning for the Warriors. We'll head to the bottom half of the fourth. Southern Wesleyan looking to get on the board. They trail 3-0.
You played before that. Trying to have the trim or something. That is why.
Where should they see where my father greatest team the world has ever seen?
Black Delaware FC, with by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Coast FC, where my father greatest team
The world has ever seen.
where my father greatest team the world has ever seen.
Now batting number 33, Rebecca Lamb.
Catcher Rebecca Lamb stands in for the Warriors here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Coach Ardeeser's squad looking to get on the board here against one of the better pitchers statistically in the conference in Jenna Walling. Lamb takes this one for a strike. Batting .367, a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs. Rebecca 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first inning. Foul ball off of Lamb in the box. Congratulations to Marissa Moreland. She is last week's Mugshot Student Athlete of the Week here at Southern Wesleyan. Picked up her first collegiate home run and a couple of doubles, I believe. So the freshman from Rossville, Georgia, played at Ridgeland High School, getting a nice honor there in her freshman campaign with the softball team. Mugshot Student Athlete Player of the Week is just that. It's the Player of the Week for Southern Wesleyan Athletics, sponsored by Mugshot Coffee, a local coffee business here in Central. And a called strike 3 on Lamb brings up first baseman Chloe Smith. So if you're in Central, make sure you check out Mugshot Coffee.
Number 17, Chloe Smith.
It's a different Student Athlete of the Week, unless you're Jaquay Randolph, who happened to win it probably 6 or 7 times this year. Men's basketball player, first team all-conference. Sequoia had a good season. Men's basketball had a good season, a great run there in the second half. And quite honestly, in terms of the second half of the conference season, might have been the hottest team in the conference, to be honest with you. They were playing some good basketball. Went up to Murfreesboro and defeated Francis Marion in the first round of the basketball tournament, Conference Carolinas tournament. And then lost their second game to Shawan, who actually ended up playing in the championship. Chloe Smith was the first base runner for the Warriors back in the second inning with a base on balls. Warriors have just one hit, and that was Abby Schreiner, and that was actually one that center fielder Michaela Goss really struggled with the sun. In fact, Goss, solid center fielder, has 30 putouts, 3 assists, and no errors on the season. So that in itself is pretty much proof positive. She lost that ball in the sun, which allowed Schreiner to pick up a double. But Walling, in true fashion, pitched out of the second and third. Base runners at second and third. And there's a nice swing there by Chloe Smith, the first baseman. Chloe, the second leading hitter on the team at .356 average. 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. You'll also find Chloe inside the circle with 5 starts on the season, 6 appearances, 2-3 record, 2.12 ERA. There's a fly ball down the left field line, and that one's going to end up foul as well. Warriors have had 8 pitchers thus far on the season. So I was just talking about the last broadcast that I have. They have several quality arms. They have a lot of depth and have a quality depth this season. I was talking with Coach Mallory Ardeeser just a week or so ago. She was talking about her first season here as the assistant coach and pitching coach. And they really struggled with pitching, primarily because they only had 1 to 2 at any particular time on the season. So with a 2.24 earned run average and 135 plus innings. That's a big advantage here for the 26th campaign.
Now batting, number 14, Olivia Haig.
Patriots are fielding 970 on the season. And as I mentioned, they're a good quality program. Outside of Jenna Walling in the circle, really stellar at all three facets of the game. And the Warriors just down 3, looking to protect their perfect 6-0 record here at home. So a good Conference Carolinas matchup, something you would anticipate seeing later in April. At, I believe, Tiger River it is called. Olivia Haig 0 for 1. Came in batting just over 300, and we came very close to what we call a cat bus dinger. We came up with that about 3 years ago. When the cat bus comes by and if a foul ball hits it, it's a cat bus dinger. We've yet to have one. Olivia Haig with a second hit for Southern Wesleyan drops just in front of center fielder Michaela Goss. So Olivia Haig trying to help not only herself out, but also the Warriors here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Couple of outs. Abby Schreiner steps in. See if the Warriors can get something going with 2 outs here. Abby's 1 for 1. She did have that double that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. That Goss lost in the sun. It ended up being about 15 feet in front of the fence, so she put a good swing on it. Track meet should be starting up momentarily. Have a lot of attention and fans up at the throwing area. So again, if you are going to be in the area this afternoon or tomorrow, check out SWUathletics.com and can read about this afternoon's events. Or if you're not in the area, you can check it out live on the live stats. Diving play there by third baseman Riley Webster, but Abby Schreiner comes up with a big hit there. So first and second now for Southern Wesleyan.
Number 9, Maddie Crouch.
They're rallying again, this time in the 4th inning, and Maddie Crouch looks like we're going to get probably a pinch runner. Head coach Clay Ardisher is going to slowly make his way to the home plate umpire. And we'll see who comes in to run for the Warriors. And it looks like it's going to be number 20. So Madeline Knopp.
And running number 20, Madeline Knopp.
So Maddie Crouch steps in for Southern Wesleyan here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th inning, first and second for the Warriors. Maddie 0 for 1 Baseball getting ready to start. First pitch here very soon up in Mount Olive, North Carolina. Crouch with a swing and a miss up in the zone. And Gray's going to walk out. Might have been a little miscommunication in the sign there. Fouls that one off, so Maddie stays alive. Crouch, a sophomore from Morganton, North Carolina. As I mentioned, the home of Southern Wesleyan alum and former baseball player Wes Smith back in the early 1990s. Rally falls short for the Warriors here in the bottom half of the fourth. We'll go to the fifth. Francis Marion still clings on to a 3-0 lead.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Center fielder Michaela Goss will lead off the fifth inning here for the Patriots. Olivia Haig still in the circle for Southern Wesleyan. Pop up on the just beyond the infield, and Riley Brown in to retire Goss, and that brings up shortstop Madeline White. White's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, RBI. So Haig, one pitch, one out. Nice changeup, just out of the zone. Olivia, a transfer from Truett McConnell University, calls Buford, Georgia, her hometown. White with the attempted bunt. White from Curie, North Carolina. Francis Marion has a corner infielder. Transfer from Galveston College via Scarborough, Queensland, Australia. Fly ball, left field. Nice play there by the freshman Marissa Moreland. Foul ball. Just foul down the third baseline. That one's up out of the zone. Fly ball short center field, but Riley Brown there to make the play. So quick top half of the fifth, nothing doing for Francis Marion. They've got 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, scoreless since then. Warriors are scoreless. They'll try to break that here in the bottom half of the fifth.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Megan Ware, the third baseman, steps in for Southern Wesleyan here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Ware 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Warriors have had a couple of base runners on 2 different innings. Fly ball right center field, and that one's going to be a nice diving catch by the right fielder, Paige Strickland. I honestly thought with the wind blowing toward right center field, that was going to get in between them. But a nice play there by Strickland to rob Ware of a potential double. Center fielder Riley Brown. Riley came in today just hitting under 300 on the season. And Walt earlier, this one's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. So a couple of quick outs here in the bottom half of the fifth for Southern Wesleyan.
Now batting, number 7, Marissa Moreland.
Freshman Marissa Moreland. Ball out of the zone. As I mentioned in the pregame, this is the 17th start for Jenna Walling. And the only other starter is Alyssa Poston. She has 6 on the season. So I'm not sure how they do their rotation, but there is a possibility we may see Walling in game 2. Moreland with a stand-up double into the right center field gap. So Moreland
Now batting, number 4, Reagan Fulcher.
struck out very quickly in the first inning. Her second at bat was a strikeout, but a much better at bat, and this time made some huge adjustments and a big 2-out double. So the Warriors have had runners in scoring position in 3 innings now. The only issue has been it's been with 2 outs. And there's a pop-up down the first base line, but it's going to get out of play. Kelsey Day, the first baseman, gave it a look, but was just beyond the first base fence line. Ground ball, but right back to the pitcher, Walling, and that will end the threat once again for the Warriors. So Southern Wesleyan has had 5 at-bats here this season of this game, and in 3 of those they've had runners in scoring position but have been unable to cross the plate. We'll head to the top half of the 6th. Francis Marion still leads 3-0.
If things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Pitcher Jenna Walling will lead off the 6th inning here for Francis Marion. Walling is 0 for 1 with a walk. Pop up on the infield, and Reagan Fulcher battling the sun and unable to come up with it. So the sun now has been a factor in 2 plays that has allowed base runners to reach. One was a routine fly ball to center field that benefited Southern Wesleyan. This was a routine pop-up that benefited the Patriots. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Walling in the form of number 22, Sydney Weaver. Weaver from Kingsville, Maryland. So unfortunate situation there for the Warriors. And Olivia Haig now with a runner on first and no outs going to have to work out of some unfortunate situation. There was a play earlier, I believe it might have been Maddie Crouch at shortstop that battled the sun on a pop-up, but she did make the catch. That was back maybe in the 1st or 2nd inning. So 1st and 2nd now for Francis Marion, and we're going to have another pinch runner. And this is now pinch running is Lainey Amaker from Moncks Corner, Berkeley High School. Not sure what makes this afternoon. We've had sunny days, and we had the time change, which would only have made it an hour later, but this is not unusual start time. I do know the UV index was supposed to be high today, so I have not witnessed this many balls lost in the sun. Riley Webster, the third baseman, stands in. Riley came in hitting just over 300, 308, 4 home runs, 24 RBIs. And ground ball to Maddie Crouch. She's going to take it herself, and a nice play. Very nice play by Crouch. And as I mentioned earlier, Maddie's struggling at the plate, but what she brings to the shortstop position is invaluable. That's a big double play there. Momentum was taking her behind the bag at shortstop, and it would have never been turned had she flipped to the second baseman Fulcher, just because there was going to be not enough time. And Francis Marion's head coach, Stacy Valley, quick conversation with Maddie Golka, second baseman. Golka came in batting .273, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Big situation here for both teams. Fly ball deep right field, and that one's going to get over the head of Knopp. One hop the fence, so a run-scoring double, a big hit there off the bat of Golka. Pushes it to a 4-0 lead now for the Patriots. It's going to bring up catcher Riley Gray, my apologies. Riley's 0 for 2 with a run scored. Reached on an error. So a runner at second in scoring position. Hay gets back ahead. So the base runner that reached as Fulcher lost the ball in the sun comes back to haunt Southern Wesleyan. An unfortunate series of events. Fly ball, Crouch, third out. Warriors will head to the bottom half of the sixth. They trail now 4-0. Catcher Rebecca Lamb stands in for Southern Wesleyan here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Warriors have 6 outs. Got to pick up 4 runs against one of the better pitchers in the conference. That in the form of Jenna Walling. Walling is faced 20 batters, long drive, deep center field, and that one's going to go off the base of the wall. So a great start here as Rebecca Lamb with a long single. And this time the Warriors have runners on with no outs. And looks like we're going to get a pinch runner. Or I guess all this time I've been saying pinch runner. It's actually, I guess, a courtesy runner because they have been able to re-enter. So anyway, as I was saying, Walling has given up 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. 5 of those hits, a couple of them have been doubles. Has around 83 pitches. Hayden Williams, a freshman from Camden High School. And Chloe Smith stands in for the Warriors. Chloe's 0 for 1 with a walk. Second leading hitter on the team with a .356 average. 2 home runs and a 13 RBIs, and takes that one in the top half of the zone. So good speed over at first base. Chloe Smith with a couple home runs, 5 RBIs. Third on the team in ribbies with 13, behind Olivia Haig with 19 and Abby Lawson with 16. Abby unable to play this game due to an injury. Warriors really needing to cut into this lead in the 6th inning. Make their job a little bit easier perhaps in the 7th if they could do that. Otherwise, a tall task against Walling, who brought a 1.31 earned run average into the game. Short center field's going to fall just in front of the center fielder. So another base hit, back-to-back base hits. First by catcher Rebecca Lamb, now by first baseman Chloe Smith.
Now batting, number 14, Olivia Hayes.
And just like that, the Warriors have runners on with no outs. For the past 3 innings, or 3 innings prior, they've had runners on with 2 outs. So now a great opportunity. And Olivia Haig, the pitcher, stands in, batting 1 for 2 today. Haig, a .305 hitter, entering the season, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs, leads the team in RBIs. So no better opportunity than the present to add to that stat column. Olivia, as I mentioned, a transfer from Truett McConnell, about an hour and a half from campus here in Cleveland, Georgia. That one's fouled off. It's a lot of excitement here at Varsity Field. It's even brought some track attendees down from the top of the hill to check out the game. That one just off the plate. One-two count for Haig. Pop up on the infield. So pop up on the infield, 1 out, and now
Now batting,
Designated player Abby Schreiner steps in. Schreiner 2 for 2 on the day with a double. Takes that one low out of the zone. 2-1 count now, 1 out. Big opportunity for Southern Wesleyan and Clay Ardeeser squad. That one, the bottom of the zone. 2-2 count. Base hit should score Williams at second. Fly ball, left field, deep. Going to easily score Williams. And a stand-up run-scoring double for Abby Schreiner. What a day for Schreiner against one of the better pitchers in the conference.
Now that is number 9, Maddie Crouch.
3 for 3 with a couple of doubles. And an RBI, and Maddie Crouch steps in. Crouch 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Called strike. So the run-scoring double off the bat of Abby Schreiner cuts the lead to 3. 4-1 now, Patriots lead. Another big at bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Crouch at the plate. Ware waits on deck. There's a strike. Ground ball to the second baseman. Good enough to get a run in. So the Warriors have cut this one in half. So some good quality at bats here for Southern Wesleyan. Pushes Schreiner over to third.
Now batting, number 3, Megan Ware.
Third baseman Megan Ware steps in. Meg over 2 with a strikeout. Ground ball, line drive rather, past the diving shortstop. 4-3 now. Huge at bats for Southern Wesleyan here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 99, Riley Brown.
Riley Brown steps in with a couple of outs. Brown came in batting just under 300 today. 0 for 1 with a walk. And the Warriors have done what not many teams have been able to do thus far this season. And score some multiple runs against Walling, the pitcher. With a runner at first and 2 outs, they're not done yet. Line drive, this one caught by shortstop Madeline White, but not before the Warriors pick up 3 runs. We're going to head to the 7th inning. Francis Marion still leads, but only by 1, 4-3.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Right fielder Paige Strickland. Big bottom half of the 6th inning for Southern Wesleyan. Olivia Haig comes out with a little extra velo on the fastball there. And a ground ball taken by Fulcher to retire Strickland. Now center fielder Michaela Goss. See if the Warriors can ride this momentum into the 7th inning. There's a line drive going to split the left and center fielder. So Goss is going to come in with a stand-up double. So the Patriots now have a runner in scoring position. Shortstop Madeline White. Warriors infield is dramatically in. Shortstop for the Patriots is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Had a sacrifice fly early in the game. Fly ball, center field. Riley Brown shouldn't be deep enough to advance the runner, so Goss has to stay on second. And this brings up the left fielder, Anderson Thrower. Thrower's a senior from Hanahan, South Carolina. One for 3 today with a run scored. And as previously mentioned, the leading hitter for the Patriots came in hitting .416 today. Started in all 28 games, a couple of doubles, no home runs, 9 RBIs. 89 at bats, only 4 strikeouts. Takes a strike there. As I mentioned, the Patriots simply don't strike out, and they haven't struck out today. Key component to their offensive production. Nice play there behind the dish by Lamb. Keeping that one from getting to the backstop and allowing the Patriots runner in the form of Michaela Goss to advance to third. As I mentioned to you, Southern Wesleyan will pack up tomorrow and make a short trip down to Franklin Springs to take on the Lions of Emmanuel University. And that one's in there for a strike. Pushes to a full count. Ground ball out to Haig, tosses over to the first base to retire the side in the top half of the 7th. So nothing doing in the forms of runs for the Patriots. We're going to head to the bottom half of the 7th. Warriors have 3 outs to score at least 1, 2 to walk it off.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Top of the lineup for the Warriors. Nothing better than that happening. Here's left fielder Marissa Moreland. So Southern Wesleyan has 3 outs to get 1 run to send it to the 8th, or to get 2 and walk this one off in dramatic fashion. Moreland, Fulcher, and Lamb set to face Jenna Walling. That one's in there for a strike. 0-2 count now. Top 3 hitters have 5 strikeouts, but the last couple of at-bats, they've done their job, including Moreland's run-scoring double, rather, her last at-bat, so has made good strides here. That one's off the plate. So Moreland, Fulcher, Lamb, and should someone reach first baseman Chloe Smith. Line drive through the 5-6, leadoff hitter on base. So the Mugshot Coffee Player of the Week last week has had a great game today and had done nothing but improved each and every at bat. And now Reagan Fulcher steps in. Reagan 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fulcher batting .258, has 1 lone home run, 11 RBIs. Her second home run would send this one in dramatic fashion in favor of the Warriors. So best case scenario for Southern Wesleyan, leadoff hitter reaches. And that's going to be a hit pitch. Hit batsman.
Now batting number 33, Rebecca Lamb.
That's going to bring head coach Stacy Valley to the circle. And we're going to have a pinch runner. Rebecca Lamb, the catcher, is going to be hitting with runners at first and second. Marissa Moreland at second base, and pinch runner Shaylee Roper, my apologies. So Shaylee Roper is running at first base. We've got speed at first, speed at second. And Rebecca Lamb, the catcher, at the plate. Ground ball to the outfield, unless it's hard hit, should be able to score Moreland and tie this game up. That one's in there for a strike. Rebecca 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. So Moreland at second. Roper pinch running at first base. High fly ball on the left field line. Not going to be deep enough for Moreland to advance. Thrower makes the catch. 1 out now. And this brings up first baseman Chloe Smith. Smith 1 for 2 with an RBI. Chloe, the second leading hitter on the squad at .356, has a couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. That all speed's going to be in there for a strike. Fouled off, nice swing by Smith. What a great Conference Carolinas softball game we have witnessed here today. Francis and Marion has led the entire game up until the bottom of the 6th. They had a 4-0 lead. Warriors scored 3, and they have a couple of runners on here threatening. Smith just ahead of that off-speed pitch. .02. So Chloe Smith sits in that one just off the plate. One, 2 count. Perhaps the biggest at bat of the game thus far. Fly ball down the left field line is going to get foul. Not much foul territory here. A little bit more in right field than there is left, but not much at all here at Varsity Field. So now we sit at 1-2 with 1 out. Ground ball up the middle, going to score Moreland. And we are tied. Huge at bat by first baseman Chloe Smith. High chopper up the middle. No way Coach Ardeeser was going to hold Moreland at third base. And she got in just before the throw reached catcher Riley Gray. So now we have above average speed and Shaylee Roper at second base. Chloe Smith over at first. Chloe Smith's run doesn't mean anything. We're all focused on Shaylee Roper at second base. And Olivia Haig, the pitcher, could hold her own destiny. Shows bunt, ball out of the zone. Perhaps trying to see what the defensive coverage is. Third base crash, shortstop covered. And kind of your traditional wheel play there. And now Gray and Walling are going to have a conversation inside the circle. Haig is 1 for 3 today. And currently ahead in the count 1-0. So you know this base hit, which I'm sure, unless it's just a screaming line drive at some outfielder, Coach Ardeeser is going to send Roper at second into the plate. Here we go with the pitch, swing and a miss. Southern Wesleyan has guaranteed at least the 8th inning. A base hit could send this dugout. Bunt, throws into left field. The Warriors are going to walk this one off. Olivia Haig with the bunt. Walling fielded it over through the third baseman. The errant throw gets into left field, and the Warriors continue their perfect record here at the Varsity. 7-0 at home, and Olivia Haig picks up the win as the pitcher, and celebration in left field galore. Great win by Southern Wesleyan. As I mentioned, Francis Marion led 4-0 the entire game. Southern Wesleyan plated 3 in the bottom half of the 6th. Got runners on early here in the 7th. Tied it, and then walked it off to pick up the win in game 1 of the doubleheader. We're going to take about 30 minutes. We'll be back here with the lineups around 4:15. See you then. Fans, welcome back to the varsity here on the campus of Southern West University in Central South Carolina. Ready to begin Game 2 of the doubleheader after the Warriors picked up a 5-4 win in Game 1 in stunning walk-off fashion. Chloe Smith inside the circle for the Warriors here in Game 2. Foul ball at the plate. Megan Ware over at third base. Maddie Crouch at short. Reagan Fulcher at second, and first base is going to be Gracie Scott this afternoon. Olivia Hagan left field. Marissa Moreland in right field. And Riley Brown anchoring down center field for Southern Wesleyan. Designated player this afternoon is going to be Rebecca Lamb. Behind the plate is Abby Schreiner. Ground ball, Fulcher up and over off her glove, so Patriots going to reach on an error by second baseman Fulcher. So a leadoff base runner for the Patriots. Anderson thrower at the plate for the Patriots. Leading hitter for Francis Marion coming into today. Slap hit over to Crouch. Crouch up and fires, but not in time as thrower beat that one out for an infield hit. Crouch did about all she could do. Mackenzie Jewell now, who originally was at first base, is now the designated player. Ground ball over to Smith. Going to call that one out. Close play. This brings up the first baseman, Jenna Walling, who was the losing pitcher in Game 1. Warriors came back and picked up a huge win against arguably the best pitcher in the conference. Another strike. Ground ball, Megan Ware up and over to get the out, but not before Madeline White, shortstop, scores for the Patriots. Back to Chloe Smith, who retires the Patriots. The Patriots pick up one. We'll head to the bottom half of the first. they lead 1-0 with the Warriors coming to bat.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Back here in the bottom half of the first inning, pitcher for the Patriots in Game 2 is Lainey Kaczynski.
Leading off for your Warriors, number 7, Marissa Moreland.
Kaczynski actually making her first start on the season, 4th appearance, only 6 1/3 innings. So perhaps a surprise start here for Kaczynski in Game 2. And Marissa Moreland. Marissa batting .457, making her 10th start. A couple home runs, 11 RBIs. Had some quality at bats, great at bats actually in Game 2, making adjustments each and every at bat. So Kaczynski inside the circle. Riley Gray back behind the plate again for Francis Marion. Jenna Walling, the Game 1 losing pitcher at first base. Maddie Golka is over at second base. Shortstop is going to be Madeline White, and third base Riley Webster. Left field, Anderson Thrower, and center, Michaela Goss, and right field, Paige Strickland. Get you set for the Patriots. Long fly ball, deep center field, and that one is not going to come back. So Marissa Moreland with her third home run. 12th RBI on the season. Ties this game at 1. And Reagan Fulcher, second baseman. That one's going to hit the bottom of the zone. 0-1 count for Kaczynski. Long look in from the freshman from Manning, South Carolina, Lawrence Manning Academy. Ground ball just foul beyond the third base line. 1-2 count, no outs. Fly ball right field. Going to be the first out of the bottom half of the first inning here for Southern Wesleyan after Marissa Moreland led off the game with a home run. Designated player Rebecca Lamb. Runs in there for a ball. Rebecca hitting .358 on the season, couple home runs, 7 RBIs. As I mentioned, that was Moreland's third home run of the season, 12th RBI. That one's going to one-hop the fence there, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Rebecca Lamb. So the Warriors have come out and picked up in this first inning exactly where they left off in the 6th and 7th inning. Chloe Smith batting .371, a couple home runs, 14 RBIs. Third on the team in RBIs, just behind Olivia Haig, who picked up her 20th in Game 1, and 16 RBIs for Abby Lawson. That was going to get away from the catcher, and Lamb is going to move up 60 feet. So another runner in scoring position here with just one out for Southern Wesleyan. That one just misses Lamb and just beyond the diving Riley Webster. So I mentioned in Game 1, the Patriots are a good fielding team. Very rarely strike out and have arguably the leading pitcher in Conference Carolinas, yet picked up a huge win in Game 1. Pop up on the infield, battling the sun once again, but this time using her glove was second baseman Maddie Golka. Had a couple of plays in Game 1 that the sun impacted the fielders. One was Reagan Fulcher, and the other one was the center fielder, Michaela Goss. Here's Olivia Haig, who picked up the win in Game 1 as the winning pitcher. And also instrumental there in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Haig now batting .302. 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Leads the team in RBIs with 20. As I just mentioned, picked up that RBI back in Game 1 here today. Warriors came in 6-0 at the varsity and head into Game 2 of this doubleheader, 7-0, with the walk-off in the first game today. High pop up, second base. Battles the sun, but makes the play. We'll head to the second. Warriors pick up 1. We're tied at 1 here at the varsity.
If things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Our virtues set us apart. We daily work to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. This is Conference Carolina.
Chloe Smith back inside the circle for Southern Wesleyan here. Ground ball over to Megan Ware. Throw across. Retires Maddie Golka. One pitch, one out. Francis Marion also very aggressive hitters. A lot of first pitch swings, especially in game one. This brings up the catcher, Riley Gray. Riley came in today batting .257, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Swing and a miss right there. Sophomore from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. Southern Wesleyan will head to Franklin Springs tomorrow for a doubleheader against Emmanuel, and Francis Marion will board a bus and head across the mountains to Young Harris over in Young Harris, Georgia. So they'll play a conference doubleheader tomorrow. Fly ball going to drop in front of Riley Brown and just beyond the outstretched hands of Maddie Crouch. So a little flare puts Gray at first base here with one out. Paige Strickland stands in. Strickland came in just above the 300 at 302 clip. Takes this one for a strike. 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Madeline White and Anderson Thrower lead Francis Marion with 6 stolen bases each. That one's in front, but Abby Schreiner keeps it in front. Close enough to where Gray at first is unable to advance. That one's in there for a strike. Swing and a miss. As Chloe Smith comes in with a 2-3 record, 2.12 ERA on the season, making her 6th start, 7th appearance, has 3 complete games, 1 shutout. Entering her 35th inning of work as the center fielder, Michaela Goss, fouls this one off. So Goss now quickly down 0-2 here with a couple of outs in the top half of the second inning. See if we can get an updated score up in Mount Olive, North Carolina. The Warriors are playing baseball. Opened up game 1 of the 3-game series. Just foul down the third base line. Looks like we're in the bottom of the 4th up in Mount Olive. And Mount Olive has a 5-4 lead. Picked up a few runs in the second, 2 in the third. Warriors had 3 in the second, so home team leading by a run. Conference Carolinas baseball action. One-two count, ground ball. Shortstop Malin White waits to hit next should Goss reach. That one just misses out of the zone. As I mentioned back in game one, wind, the way the field is located in the Flag Plaza, looks like it's blowing out left to right. So going to push the ball out right center to right field. Might cut one down to left field. But did not impact Marissa Moreland's solo shot in the first inning. And a fly ball out to said Marissa Moreland to end the top half of the second. So we're going to head to the bottom half of the second. We're still tied at 1 here at Varsity Field.
You played before that. Trying to have the film or something. And it's
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team
The world has ever seen.
we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Catcher Abby Schreiner will lead off the bottom of the second inning for Southern Wesleyan. Kaczynski still on them in the circle for Francis Marion. Schreiner now hitting .410 after a solid game one of the doubleheader. 1 home run, 12 RBI, starting her 20th game of the season. We'll see if Abby can get something going here in the bottom of the sec. And just like that, a fly ball to left field. And a nice catch by Anderson thrower.
Now batting, number 9, Maddie Crouch.
Good fielding squad. And speaking of superior fielding, it's going to bring up shortstop Maddie Crouch. Maddie batting .175, starting her 23rd game of the season, and takes that one off the leg. So she's going to trot down to first base and kind of walk that one off. Brings up third baseman Megan Ware.
Megan Ware.
One out of the zone for third baseman Ware. 1-1 count, one out. Pop up, but not near enough foul territory that is needed. Warriors have 26 stolen bases on the season, fielding 962. And that one's going to be a line drive to the shortstop. And not sure what they're going to call here. She clearly caught that ball. So it should be a double play. And it is to end the inning. So Maddie Crouch thought that was not called in the air and advanced. Nice play by the shortstop, Madeline White. That ends the second. We'll head to the third. We'll still tied at 1.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Shortstop Madeline White, who was the front end of the double play there in the bottom half of the second, leads off with Chloe Smith still inside the circle for Southern Wesleyan. White reached earlier in her first at bat on the error by Fulcher at second base. Later scored the lone run for the Patriots. White slaps this one down the third base line, but foul. High fly ball right field. Moreland up and over to make the catch. Marissa Moreland, the freshman from Rossville, Georgia. Good week last week, being named Mugshot Coffee Player of the Week, and finishing up this week really good as well. Anderson Thrower, the team leading hitter for Francis Marion, came into today at 416, so a couple hitters hitting over 400 now. One, Anderson Thrower, and for Southern Wesleyan, Abby Schreiner. Thrower 1 for 1 here in game 2. As mentioned earlier, good crowd here at the varsity. Good crowd up at track and the Gotta Run invite. And I'm sure we'll have another good crowd tomorrow at the track event and also at Childs Field for the lacrosse game, which will start up at 1 o'clock. And as previously mentioned, baseball up at Mount Olive and softball at Emmanuel tomorrow. Ground, nice play by Fulcher, but unable to make the throw. Good play by Fulcher, just with the infield playing in. It was everything she could do just to field the ball, unable to make the throw. So one out here, and Mackenzie Jewell, the designated player. Jewell had a sacrifice in the first game and is batting .338, second leading hitter on the Patriot squad. Tied with Riley Webster and Jenna Walling in home runs, and second on the team in RBIs with 20 behind aforementioned Riley Webster. Campus on spring break this week, so not a lot of students here on campus. And a swing and a miss for the second out. This will bring up first baseman Jenna Walling. Walling hitting .278, 20 hits, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, entering today. For the Patriots from Florence, South Carolina. Ground ball over to Ware, up and throwing to retire the side. It's going to give you the standings in the conference. We'll do that when we return. We'll head to the bottom of the third, 1-1.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Riley Brown stands in center fielder. We'll lead off the bottom of the third here for Southern Wesleyan. Mentioned before we left for break. Going to give you the conference standings. In the East, UNC Pembroke leads in the division 5-1. 5-1 rather. Francis Marion 6-2. And in the Southwest Division, Young Harris is 5-0 in the division. Southern Wesleyan is 2-0, 5-1 in conference play. So both of these teams are looking to battle for the top seed. First for the division title and then for a top seed in the conference tournament, and that one just misses. Riley Brown entered 282 and a base hit just past shortstop Madeline White.
Now batting number 7, Marissa Moreland.
So Moreland, who led off this game with a solo home run to tie the score at 1. Moreland hitting .457, 35 at bat, so she's been playing a lot as of late. And one of the hotter hitters right now for Southern Wesleyan. Pops up to right field.
Now batting number 4, Reagan Fulcher.
Second baseman Reagan Fulcher stands in, batting .246. Getting her second at bat. Long fly ball, center field, at the base of the center field fence. Michaela Goss brings it in.
Now batting number 33, Rebecca Lamb.
Here's the designated player, Rebecca Lamb. Double, back in her first at bat. That one's in there for a called strike. Rebecca batting .358. So you got a couple of hitters that been doing a good job as of late for Southern Wesleyan at the plate. Rebecca Lamb hitting .358, and Moreland, as we've mentioned, hitting .457. Moreland only in her 10th start, and Lamb in her 18th start, so they've missed some games. And then you've got Abby Lawson batting .308, out today due to an injury. So the Warriors' offensive production has picked up here as of late. And as we mentioned, the pitching staff has been doing an outstanding job this season. Warriors have a 2.22 earned run average, 141 innings, 110 strikeouts. There's a line drive into left field. So Lamb keeps the 2-out rally going. And this brings up pitcher Chloe Smith.
Now batting number 17, Chloe Smith.
Chloe's 0 for 1 today, or at least in game 2. Batting .371, a couple of home runs, 14 RBIs on the season. Thus far in 2026, Warriors have played a lot of softball in the last 8 to 9 days. And we'll finish up with what I believe is their 10th game in about a week tomorrow. High fly ball right field, and a nice running catch there in right field by Paige Strickland to end the third. Moving right along here in the fourth, we are still tied at 1. We'll be back in 50 seconds.
If things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
set us apart. We daily work to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. This is Conference Carolina.
Riley Webster, third baseman, stands in for Francis Marion, and a strike now. Chloe Smith back out in the circle for Southern Wesleyan. Ground ball up the middle. Maddie Crouch up and over. And it's pretty automatic at the shortstop position. Nice play there by Crouch. Maddie Golka, second baseman for Francis Marion here. Oh for 1 here in the second game of the doubleheader. If you're just now joining us, Warriors walked it off in the bottom half of the seventh, 5-4 in game 1. Pick up a big win. Against one of the best, if not currently the best pitcher in the conference. And Jenna Walling playing first base here in game 2. Freshman Lainey Kaczynski getting the nod. And of course, Chloe Smith here for Southern Wesleyan. Ground ball back to Smith. Up and over to make the play. So the sophomore from Villarica, Georgia, gets the second out here. Catcher Riley Gray. Riley wearing lucky 13 here on Friday the 13th. Supposed to be about the same weather tomorrow, and Franklin Springs is no more than an hour and 15 away, so we'll get about the same weather in the mid-60s. Nothing like we had earlier this week in the 80s, but still a nice day for the middle of March, no doubt, and sunny skies expected. Gray's going to trot down to first base. Manuel's in the same division, the Southwest Division, as the Warriors. They're 2-5 in the division, 3-6 in the conference, and 3-18 overall. Did play them up here in Central not too long ago. If I'm not mistaken, the Warriors swept the doubleheader, both run rule games. Swing and a miss. The right fielder, Paige Strickland. I mentioned since last Saturday, Warriors have played a lot of softball. Defeated Lees McRae 12-1 in the second game. Looks like got rained out, and they defeated Johnson C. Smith, swept them 20-0 and 10-2. Dropped the opening game to Belmont Abbey 5-4 before picking up the nightcap 4-2, and defeated Francis Marion here in game 1 5-4. It's a tough break for Southern Wesleyan, getting only one game in at Lees McRae, but they're going to get the third out here. And with that, we're going to take off the bottom half of the fourth, still tied at 1.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Winning pitcher in Game 1 and left fielder here in Game 2, Olivia Haig, stands in against the freshman in the form of Lainey Kaczynski. Warriors trying to get something going here in the 4th. Frances Marion jumped out to a 1-0 lead in top half of the 1st, and Marissa Moreland drilled one over the center field fence to tie it, and since then we've had nothing but zeros as Haig flies out
Number 23, Abby Schreiner.
to left field, and this brings up catcher Abby Schreiner. Abby 0 for 1 today. Haig now 0 for 2, and waiting on deck is Maddie Crouch, who got hit by a pitch. Her first at bat. So we'll see if Schreiner can get something going here for Clay Ardeser's squad. Wind shifting now, blowing more toward left center field. Benefiting the Warriors at this point in time. As I mentioned, both teams were around the same amount of home runs coming in to today's doubleheader in the conference. And that one's going to be a ground ball out to Walling. So Schreiner retired, brings up shortstop Maddie Crouch.
Number 9, Maddie Crouch.
Crouch got hit in the leg, her first at bat. See what she can do here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. That one misses outside, evens at 1-1. Ground ball and in fair territory, and Riley Webster goes 5-3 to retire the Warriors here in the 4th. We'll take a break. When we're back, we got 5th inning coming up, 1-1. Fans welcome back here. Michaela Gall steps in for Francis Marion, then we'll flip it back to the top of the lineup. That one's in there for a strike, so Chloe Smith, getting ahead early here. That one's going to get to the right field, center field fence. Moreland over quickly and going to hold Goss to a leadoff double. So a Patriot now in scoring position and brings up the shortstop, Madeline White, who's 0 for 2 with a run scored. And she scored that run off of an error in the top half of the first inning. So the infield back in. The slap hitter, White. And she bunts that, but foul. That one misses out of the zone. Warriors defending against the bunt here. Actually, we've got an 0-2 count now. That one's up the middle and going to be held at third base, but the throw's going to come in high, which allows White to advance to second, so a base hit. Puts 2 runners in scoring position now with White at second as she advanced on the throw, and Goss at third, held up by head coach Stacy Valley. And left fielder Anderson Thrower steps in. Thrower 2 for 2 today. And the leading hitter for Francis Marion came in hitting .416. No home runs, 9 RBIs. Ground ball over to Crouch. Backhand play, tough play. Not sure she'll be able to throw her out anyway, but does load the bases. She kept it in the infield and runners from scoring. Mackenzie Jewell, the designated player. That's going to be a foul ball. Could have been a good situation for the Warriors. Jewell did not come out of the box very quickly. Got the force at home and doubled up Jewell there. Irregardless, nice play there by Schreiner, keeping that one in front. So we're sitting at 1-2. With no out, so a big at bat here for Francis Marion and obviously for Southern Wesleyan as well. Fly ball should be deep enough to score a run. And nice play keeping White at second. So some good defensive work there by Southern Wesleyan. Picks up an out, but not before the Patriots grab the lead again. Got 1 out, and Jenna Walling, the first baseman, at the plate, takes this one low, And White still third, rather. So now we have runners at the corners. First and third situation here. Walling 0 for 2 with an RBI, and that ball is drilled to center field. And just off the top of the fence, Riley Brown crashes into the fence. Here comes the play at the plate. Throw's going to be offline. So a stand-up two-run double off the bat of Jenna Walling. And Riley Brown just couldn't get back there quick enough. It was about 2 feet from going out. And now pitcher Chloe Smith is calling the infield in. Going to take a breather here. So the Patriots have picked up 3 runs here in the 5th. Take a 4-1 lead. Third baseman Riley Webster waits to hit next with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Webster at the plate. Golka on deck for the Patriots. And the cat bus is in the vicinity. Cat bus, the official vehicle of DoorDasher Caleb Van Steenberg. Ground ball over to Smith, up and makes the play. 2 outs now. Second baseman Maddie Golka. Walling moves over to third. Golka 0 for 2 today. Came in hitting .273, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Takes this one for a strike. Senior from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Looking to score. Walling. That one's fouled off. Catcher Riley Gray waits to hit next. Should Golka reach here, and that one's going to be just off the plate. It was an 0-2 count, so now we're at 1-2. So ground ball to Matty Crouch, up and over to retire the side. So we'll head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Patriots retake the lead 4-1. We'll see if the Warriors can respond.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Third baseman Megan Ware with Riley Brown on deck and Marissa Moreland. Your Warrior hitters here in the bottom half of the fifth. Warriors trail by 3, but that's something they've been accustomed to earlier in game 1 before they walked it off in the bottom half of the second. And just like that, Ware leads the bottom half of the fifth off with a base hit up the middle.
Now batting number 99.
So Ware gets in the hit book. Riley Brown 1 for 1 today. Here in game 2, rather. A lot of movement with the Francis Marion infielders, and Brown, slap hitter by nature, showing a bunt. Little flare down the left field line, and a nice play by the left fielder as the infield was in, or rather the outfield was in. Sagaz takes away a base hit from Brown. 1 out now, and this is Marissa Moreland.
Now batting number 7, Marissa Moreland.
Moreland responsible for the Warriors' only run today and here in game 2, as she led off the top half of the first, or rather the bottom half of the first, with a solo shot to tie the score way back in the first inning. That one just misses. So Moreland, good day here today, trying to do what she can to pick up another Mugshot Coffee Student Athlete of the Week award. First outdoor track meet of the season held here on the campus of Southern Western University today and tomorrow. So check out SWU Athletics for the recap later on this evening. Or if you'd like to do a simulcast with this broadcast, you can check out the live stats now. 3-0 count here to the freshman right fielder. And that's going to be ball 4. So 1 out, and the Warriors have a couple runners on, and the potential tying run comes to the plate in the form of Reagan Fulcher. Reagan 0 for 2.
Reagan Fulcher.
As we mentioned earlier, Lainey Kaczynski perhaps getting a surprise start here in game 2. Walling started 17 games on the season, and Alyssa Poston has 10. Reese Watson has 1. First start for Kaczynski, and we may actually see Walling come back into the game, perhaps. Or maybe we just have a new first baseman. We'll see what happens here. But Kaczynski came in with only 6 1/3 innings pitched. So she's almost matched that here in her first start. Her first start of her career, as she is a freshman. So it looks like we're just going to have a fielding change for right now. Jenna Walling is going to leave the game, and number 21, Kelsey Day, is going to come in for first base. Kelsey, a sophomore from Anderson, Indiana. Did see her earlier. So Reagan Fulcher. Warrior dugout, not sure if you can hear, ecstatic at this point in time in the game. 2-0, 1 out. As we mentioned, the tying run at the plate for Southern Wesleyan, and that's going to be a late strike call. So a 2-1 count with 1 out. And this one's going to be up out of the zone. So a 3-1 count now. So full count, 1 out. Big at bat here in game 2, bottom of the 5th inning. Warriors trail 4-1, and that one's going to miss out of the zone. So Kaczynski has now walked another Warrior hitter, and the bases are loaded, the 1 out. And this brings up the designated player, Rebecca Lamb. Lamb 2 for 2 with a double today. And now I think we're going to have a pitching change. Or maybe just, yep. So the catcher looks like they're trying to see if the bullpen is ready. The bullpen, actually most teams warm up just outside of the first base dugout, but they are actually down in left field. And just like we anticipated, Jenna Walling is going to come back in. Well, I don't believe she's ready yet. So an interesting turn of events here. Frances Marion was actually warming up in the bullpen beyond left field, so it was tough to get communication at that point in time. And head coach Stacy Valley is letting shortstop Madeline White relay information to left fielder Anderson Thrower, who will relay information to the bullpen. And we'll go from there. So Kaczynski going to stay in. 1 out, bases loaded. Rebecca Lamb, the designated player, at the plate. Big fly could erupt this dugout. Ground ball to the shortstop, comes to the plate, and it's a force play. I don't think White realized how close Marissa Moreland was. She could have tagged her. Obviously, she didn't have vision, but one more step, and there could have been an out on the tag, which would have made the play at the plate a little more difficult. Chloe Smith, the pitcher, can help herself out and the team here with a big swing. 2 outs now, bases loaded. Warriors down by 3. If you were with us back in game 1, the Warriors had 3 separate innings where they left either 2 runners on or 1 runner on before they erupted for 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th and a couple in the bottom of the 7th to walk it off. So they'll either continue what they did in the latter half of game 1 or pick up what they did in the first half of game 1. But either way, they're in a great situation, even with 2 outs, with Chloe Smith, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. She could do some damage. And that one's going to get away from the catcher, but not nearly far enough, especially with 2 outs for Moreland to advance. So Moreland at third, Fulcher at second, and Rebecca Lamb over at first base. So with 2 outs and the runners moving on contact, could pick up an extra base or two. And that's not going to be needed. That's going to be ball 4. So Chloe Smith is going to draw a bases loaded walk here with 2 outs, and we're now, I'm pretty certain, going to have a pitching change. It just depends on who it is. So the Warriors have cut it in half. They trail 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And now, as we expected, Jenna Walling is going to make her way back inside the circle. So you can't close the book yet on Lainey Kaczynski, as all 3 runners will be credited to her. But she did pitch 4 2/3 inning. As of now, has given up 2 runs, both earned. That could change. What won't change is she's given up 5 hits, walked 3, no strikeouts, 1 double, and a leadoff home run to Marissa Moreland. So, top pitcher in the conference makes her way back in a relief appearance. And we'll see if the Warriors can pick up where they left off in the 5th, or the 6th and the 7th inning of Game 1, where they were finally able to not only connect but also score some runs. And the first hitter that Walling will face will be Olivia Haig, who was, ironically, the last hitter she faced in Game 1 as the Warriors walked it off. So a couple more warm-up pitches here for Walling. So with this, we're going to pick it up. As I mentioned, Olivia Haig. Haig is 0 for 2 here in Game 2. Hayden Williams is now going to run at second base. So Coach Ardeeser really wanting to pick up that potential tying run. Base hit in the outfield should score Williams. We'll see what Haig can do here with Walling coming in relief of the freshman Kaczynski. It's going to be quite the change of velocity. So that should benefit Walling, at least her first few hitters, or the first time through the order for her. Haig puts a good swing on it, fouls it off. That one just misses. So 1-2 count now for Olivia Haig. Ground ball back up to Walling, and she flips over to the first baseman to end the rally. But the Warriors pick up a run. They leave the bases loaded. We'll head to the 6th. They trail by 2, 4-2 Francis Marion.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Back here at Varsity Field on the campus of Southern Wesleyan University in Central South Carolina. And catcher Riley Gray will lead off for the Patriots. Then Paige Strickland and Michaela Goss. Chloe Smith stood out on the mound for Southern Wesleyan, entering her 6th inning of work. 4 runs, 3 earned, 7 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And pitch number 84, 85 has now taken place. So 1-1 count. Patriots up 4-2 after a 3-run 5th and 1 in the first. Warriors cut it in half in the bottom half of the 5th with a run, and had a run back in the first inning off of Moreland's solo home run. So very similar game to where we were in game 1. It's 4-2 in the 6th. So the Warriors had theatrics in game 1. We'll see if they can pull off the comeback here in game 2, final game of the Conference Carolina's doubleheader. A non-divisional game, but that one's going to allow Gray to reach base. And we're going to have, I believe, a pinch runner. Maybe a pinch hitter. A pinch hitter, it looks like. So Claire Neely, a freshman out of Farmville, North Carolina. And a pitching visit by assistant coach and pitching coach Mallory Ardeeser. With that, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back shortly. Mallory Ardeeser made the visit to Chloe Smith. And as we mentioned, the pinch hitter, Claire Neely, the freshman from Farmville, North Carolina. And it's going to be her second at bat of the season. So head coach Stacy Valley has something in mind with Neely making her 14th appearance. Looks like mainly been on the base pass, and this one's fouled off. Wasn't called fouled off in the box, so if Schreiner could have got out a little quicker. Neely was not running for first base. Fouled off at the plate there. Looks like Neely's been primarily used as a pinch runner because she does have 6 runs scored. And as I mentioned, only her second at bat here. Two count, no outs. Ground ball over to Ware. Going to go the short route to Fulcher at second to get the lead runner. It's a nice play by Ware. This is going to bring up Michaela Goss. Warriors would love to keep this within 2, especially with only 6 outs left. For him to plate some runs here. That's going to be a ground ball into left field as Livia Haig up and in. So now first and second. Shortstop Madeline White. White 1 for 3 with a couple runs scored and a stolen base. White showing bunt there here with 1 out. So a big run in scoring position at second base. That one pushes White off the plate. 2-1 count now. Three-one count. So the leadoff hitter for the Patriots trying to work her way on base. And obviously Chloe Smith trying to get back in the count. She does. Crouch dives underneath her glove, and that's going to score the 5th run for Southern Wesleyan. So Crouch did all she could, diving glove side, but could not come up with the softball. And this brings up the left fielder, Anderson Thrower. So still first and second for Francis Marion. 5-2, Patriots lead. Thrower is a perfect 3 for 3 with a run scored here in game 2. So only adding to her team-leading batting average. She came in batting .416. It's obviously going up from there. Slaps this one to Crouch, up, and took a terrible hop right into what looks to be maybe the side of her face or neck, but she's going to try to walk this one off. A vicious hop there. Patriots could only go 60 feet. So the bases are full of Patriots. Kelsey Day back in the box here. 1-0 count. That one's going to get foul. So a tough break for Southern Wesleyan. As you might expect, the infield's getting a little choppy here with the amount of base runners we've had, and Crouch was in perfect fielding position, and that one just took a vicious hop up on her. Two-one count, 1 out. Patriots up by 3. Ground ball over to Ware. She'll go to home. Shriner back to first. Oh, not in time. Close play. That one probably could have went either way, honestly. Warriors turned that one about as quick as they possibly could. But Ware came to the plate, so lead stays at 3 for the Patriots, 5-2, and the pitcher Jenna Walling now takes this one for a called strike. So Walling pitched the game 1, played first base, went to the bullpen for a few, and then came in to pick up a big out in the bottom of the 5th. And now she's back at the plate, 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs, a big double in the midst of that. And that one's going to be hit hard, but to Crouch. So Crouch comes back after taking one off of a bad bounce and retires the Patriots. They pick up 1. Just like game 1, Warriors are down by 3. We'll see what they can pull this one off.
You played before that. Should I have the trim or something? And it's
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Black Warriors FC, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
West Shores FC, we're by far the greatest team
The world has ever seen.
we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Warriors trail 5-2. Trailed 5 by 3 rather in game 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Tied it up and won it in the bottom of the 7th. So Abby Schreiner, the catcher, Maddie Crouch, the shortstop, and Megan Ware, the third baseman, will be the 3 hitters here for Southern Wesleyan. Looking to get some base runners. Schreiner takes that one for the second ball here. Abby 0 for 2. Two-one count now. Schreiner, a senior from Wabash Valley Community College in Canton, Georgia. Have some events ending up at track as we had a couple of schools exit the facility. They'll be back tomorrow morning when it cranks up at 10. Got about roughly an hour and 10 minutes left of events this afternoon, and Schreiner goes down swinging. So Walling faced 2 hitters, one in the 5th and now one in the 6th, back-to-back strikeouts. And this is Maddie Crouch, 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, her first at bat. Fouls that one off her foot. Wind starting to die down a little bit here as the day progresses. That one a hard shot, but handled nicely by third baseman Riley Webster. Both teams have solid infield play today.
Now batting number 3, Megan Ware.
Third baseman Megan Ware. Megan's a sophomore from North Carolina. Fly ball to center field and going to be tracked down by Michaela Goss. So a quick bottom half of the 6th. We'll go to the 7th. Warriors will try to hold them at 5, and they'll have 3 outs to pick up at least 3 runs here.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Seventh and possibly last inning of play here. Francis Marion and Southern Wesleyan. Francis Marion looking to split the doubleheader. Southern Wesleyan obviously hoping for a sweep as they picked up game 1, 5-4. And Chloe Smith back out for her 7th inning of work. And third baseman Riley Webster, who got the final out in the bottom of the 6th, stands in with a 1-1 count. Webster 0 for 3 today. Or game 2, rather. Another strike now, so quickly 1-2 count, no outs. Swing and a miss. So Webster goes down on strikes. Brings up Maddie Golka. Chloe Smith on a mission right now, working quickly, wanting to get back in the dugout and keep the Patriots at bay, and played at least 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. The score stays the same, 4 will walk it off. Ware up and over and makes the play. Nice play there by third baseman Megan Ware. And this brings up the catcher, Riley Gray. So the Warriors 1 out away from getting out of the top half of the 7th, hoping to keep the Patriots scoreless. This is a ground ball in front of Ware, but that one's going to be foul. Pop up. Plenty of room there for first baseman Gracie Scott. And that ends the top half of the 7th. So once again, the Warriors have their work cut out for them. And in order to do so, they'll need to score 3 at minimum to keep this game going. 4, we'll walk it off. We'll take about a minute. We'll be back. Fans, welcome back to Varsity Field. Riley Brown, the center fielder, leadoff hitter for the Warriors. Warriors have to plate at least 3. They find themselves trailing 5-2. Marissa Moreland and Reagan Fulcher will need to reach base. And then you get the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up there if possible. Swinging fouled off at the plate by Riley Brown. Riley's a junior from local product from Palmetto High School, hometown Pelzer, South Carolina. Actually came through Pelzer on my way from the Greenwood Golf Club as our men's golf team competed in the Lander tournament. And freshman Owen Kanunen actually finished first at the tournament. The men's team had a good showing. The women's team, I believe, had a second place showing in their tournament as well. There's a swing and a miss, so the first and most crucial out outside of the third out is picked up here in the bottom of the 7th, and this will bring up freshman right fielder Marissa Moreland. Swing and a miss, good off-speed pitch there by Walling. That one misses up in the ball zone, checks her swing. Actually, she didn't check her swing. It was an 0-2 count now. Didn't see a motion from the home plate umpire or a appeal down to first base, but irregardless, it's 1-2 now with 1 out. One's going to be fouled off. So Moreland 1-2 count, swing and a miss. Ball up out of the zone, but the velocity from Walling. And that's the Warriors are down to their final out here. And it's going to be left up to second baseman Reagan Fulcher, junior from Comer, Georgia. As I mentioned, the Patriots trying to get a split here, the doubleheader. The Warriors trying to pick up some two-out magic here, and that one's fouled off. And very close to the gentleman jogging down the street. That one just misses, so Fulcher now sits at a 1-1 count, 2 outs. Fly ball down the right field line and in play and caught to end the inning. So inning and the games. The Warriors fall 5-2 rather. But not before they pick up a Game 1 win as they walked it off in the bottom of the 7th. So they'll split this doubleheader, pick up their first home loss on the season. So they're now standing at 7-1 at home. 2 good softball games here, 2 good Conference Carolina softball games. We're going to close this one up. Warriors will head to Franklin Springs, Georgia tomorrow for a doubleheader against Emmanuel. Patriots will head over to Young Harris, Georgia for a doubleheader against the Young Harris Mountain Lions. Going to sign off here.